श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी भरनौ रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या तेहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। First and foremost, if you have to live a life of dharma, you have to live a life of virtues, you have to live a life of achievement, and that too also of greatness contributing to society, then first and foremost is we have to have sauraj, and the second is have the patience, perseverance, fortitude, dheeraj, and stop not till we reach our goal. Ours is but to do and die. Gurudev used to make us this army, song is ours is but to do and die. Never question why. He used to make us do that in Viveka Chudamani. So that is the spirit that Gurudev showed. Like that only what such great masters like Swami Gangeshwaranji, who brought back the Vedas for us in this time, used to call our Gurudev military Swami hai, mera military Swami hai. So what is it? Ours is but to? Ours is but to? Ours is but to? Never question why. That's why Gurudev had given the I can, I must. Because I can, I must. But if I think also, I must, I will. That's what Guruji added in the 50th year of Chinmaya mission, I will. And we have to assert to ourselves that I will. Anything in our life. And one thing is for sure. When you decide to do something, the whole universe contrives to make it happen for you. If you have any doubt about it, come to make it happen, and I will show you there and there, sitting there, how you can make it happen. This is what this knowledge is, Baba. And what have we treated it as? So, Sauraj, Dheeraj, Tehirat, Chaka. Satya, Shila, Drida, Dvaja, Pataka. In olden times, every chariot, even today, every general comes with his own flag or own sign. So flag represents sign. In today modern language, we may call it a logo. And a logo stands for the standard of the company, is it not? Flag in olden days, just like even our flag of the nation, stands for the principles of our country. And what are those principles that maintain the highest standard and brings about the highest glory? Whenever sometimes I go and I see people doing such a shoddy job, I mean, look at Gurudev's simplicity but elegance. Even if he wore a cotton cloth on his body, the way he carried himself shows his elegance. And therefore, whatever we present to Gurudev, however simple it may be, should it not be a standard that is befitting him? What is the glory? What does the logo stand for? Even today, if somebody hears the word Chinmaya mission, they expect not just the best, but better than the best. That is the logo brand that we have. That's the flag that he has raised so high. And what keeps that flag high are two things. Yeah? If you know, in olden times, whenever a warrior finally had that courage to vanquish the enemy, first thing, they break the flag of the, you must see Mahabharata series that you must have seen. First thing is break the flag. Why did our Indian freedom fighters, risk their life to go and put the flag of India where there were other flags? Now, what is that will keep your logo, your brand, your flag, as well as your personal life's glory? Flag always represents fame, glory, popularity. Yeah? Today, we just have the name Chinmaya Mission attached to us. See how people respect. I'm telling you, one boy attended one of my talk in one country, went to another country, and then suddenly saw that Chinmaya Mission is there everywhere. I also attended Chinmaya Mission talks. Every Chinmaya Mission home was open for him to stay, eat, and they were even calling me up that, he's a very nice boy. Can we give our daughters in marriage? That only shows the fame that Gurudev have brought to the name Chinmaya Mission. No? And how is that possible? Satya, Shila, for any company or our personal life. Money can come and go. That fame which is born out of money is not real fame. But any company, any individual, any family, any country is built on the principles of Satya and Shila. Honesty. This country, we keep on saying, Satyameva Jayate. But the next line, Gurudev used to laugh and say, we never say that never untruth. Because we say, truth wins, maybe, but untruth always wins. Honesty. Satya. Now, what is honesty? Gurudev in Manual of Self-Unfoldment, and I hope everybody at least reads one of his books. Yeah? And that is Manual of Self-Unfoldment if you read. Because in Upanishad commentaries also Gurudev has explained. But what is Satyam? It is not only speaking the truth which you have determined through the right means of knowledge, not just gossip and forwarding it, but what you have ascertained through your understanding to speak, that is called as truth. And that is speaking the truth. But in the higher sense, Gurudev says clearly that living up to our own ideals, knowledge, principles. And I'll take it forward to say what I understood from Gurudev. Being honest to what we have been given, our potential. Yeah? So living up to our potential, living up to our ideals, living up to what we preach. Right? That is called as Satyam. So living up to your conviction is Satyam. Which later on, living up to your word is called as Satyam. The Dasharatha Maharaj had given his word, but see what sacrifices he had to do. So if you have given a word, I remember also when I joined business, first thing my father had told me. He said, whenever you quote a price, quote it intelligently. But if you have quoted a price under the cost price. Don't go and just say, oh, I'm sorry that, you give it, suffer the consequences. But do not go and change the word, because you don't know what losses they may go through. So Satya, honesty. Now, really speaking, majority of us are honest people. But we cannot say 100% honest. Somebody came up to Gurudev and said that, Swamiji, they say honesty, but honesty doesn't pay in this world. And please never repeat this in front of your children and your youth. Because the first person they will be dishonest to is you. Somebody asked Gurudev that, there might be a time where honesty works. These days, the only way of success means only monetary success, is only by dishonesty. Show me some honest person who's successful. And Gurudev said, show me one honest person, and I will show you a highly successful person. One professor in college was talking about honesty, and was taking the book of, my experiment with truth. And he was saying, I have never lied in my life. Never been dishonest in my life. One cheeky youngster got up and said, then why did you start right now? To speak the truth, live up to your potential and your conviction, keep your word. All these are called as honesty. And you see, even the monetarily successful people and whose success has continued, take any name in the world, their companies are built on some of these principles. Watch them. So don't say that honesty doesn't pay. In our personal life, the dishonesty completely shatters us. Maybe one of the experiments I will show you. But so honesty is the flag. And that company or that organization that has been honest, even when some difficulties or challenges that come from nature, etc., or from society, or karmic, whatever comes in your life, person who has been honest, people will have trust. So therefore, honesty. Second is Shilta. Now, honesty we understand as speaking the truth, keeping up to your word, living up to your conviction, and not pretending. That's called as hypocrisy. But trying to live up to it is an attempt. Showing it and being dishonest within is hypocrisy. The next word is Shil. And really speaking, this word Shil has no translation in English. It's called integrity of character, a good character. All this doesn't. Or Shilta also means sweetness of behavior. Therefore, our Upanishads have said, Satyam Vada. Many people come up and say, do you know, in the meeting, I'm so honest. Fatak, I just tell everybody, you're all useless people. Good for nothing. Fact is, you have done nothing absolutely. You are right, 100% they are useless. You're right. You're not telling something wrong. You're not just, You can be firm with your honesty. But our Rishi says, Satyam Vada, Hitam Vada. Speak the truth, but speak the truth that by which someone's well-being will take place. Not harming that person. And third is Priyam Vada. Yeah. Now, it's not like all mother-in-laws are bad or any such thing. But what I mean to say is there's the mother's technique and the mother-in-law's technique. Yeah. Mother also has to correct. Mother-in-law also has to correct. But mother's words, we don't feel that bad. Mother-in-law's word, because one says it in a way to correct even firmly, scolding also. While the other says to hurt. Shilta means say it in that manner by which it will be accepted. Otherwise, there are so many honest people, but their presentation, their communication, their effectiveness is lacking because Shilta is not there. Now, the best example of Shil is Ramchandraji. Also in the Upanishad, we find Nachiketa. Ramchandraji has to come and take blessings from his mother Kaushalya. He can't just walk away. And he has to inform her that he has been exiled to the forest. Now that morning he's going to be the king of Ayodhya and he's being exiled to the forest with no fault of his, nothing. And he has to tell his mother that his stepmother has exiled him to the forest. If he went and even told, like any modern youngster, that other woman of your husband, no, yeah, she has dumped me in the forest. It'd be 100% truth. As far as truth is concerned, it would not be. But in that, first and foremost, he's telling it to Mother Kaushalya, who's already going to be in anguish. But if Ramchandraji said it in this manner, can you imagine in her mind, one will be the sorrow of the separation from Ramchandraji, other will be the anger, frustration, grievance. Is he helping his mother by telling like that? It's the truth. You know how he says? Pita dina mohe kanan raju. Father has given me the kingdom of the forest. Not exile me from this kingdom. He's given me the kingdom of the forest by which my well-being will take place. It's still Mother Kaushalya is in sorrow and in a state of shock. But see how beautifully he says it. See how Nachiketa goes and tells his father. If he told his father that you are donating in the name that you're making great donations for which you want such name and popularity and what you are giving is almost dying cows. Yeah? And you want a big name and fame for it. Now in public he's doing it. Everybody must be gossiping. He wants to go and make his father aware that he should do better than this. He could have told his dad, Dad, you're being a hypocrite. Most youngsters tell you already like that, right? He just said, Father, who are you going to give me to? Today I'm proud to see that some of our youngsters go up to their parents and say, Dad, Mom, we want nothing from your will. You've given us everything, we will make it. You go donate it. Live your life and donate it. Because for who are you keeping all this money? You are about to die. You're so old. And then also you want your name, fame, your name to be engraved somewhere. And that too also by donating dying cows. See how we present. This is called as Shilta. Once I was speaking in a group of youngsters and one boy came and told me, Swamiji, I'm going abroad to study and all my friends, and friends means girls, boys, they're just friends. So all my especially girlfriends say that, not relationship, but girlfriends, friends who are girls, they say that, we are going to miss you and, how are you going to, are you going to miss us? He said, Swamiji, I said, you must have told them because he's honest. He was from our CRS school. So you must have told them, no, that I'm not going to miss you. He said, yeah, I said, and they said, we feel so hurt. So then I gave them the experiment. So because all those girls were also there. So I gave them, I said, how will you tell someone that I will not miss you, because the matter of fact is I'm looking forward to going and studying. No? How will I tell? And any of your husbands also, no? Your wife says, I'll miss you. Of course. And I can prove you on stage that you're lying. How will you tell? So experiment. Yeah. Now you're going to have also some presentation on stage from you. How can you tell the truth in such a manner that it will not hurt, or you at least not hurting, and it is going to be accepted? This is called as Shilta. So anyway, you can come up with solutions. One of the quizzes I'm sure Swami Abhayananda is going to ask you, how will you say it? How will you tell your wife? And today all women are also working, husbands, and nowadays the husbands also, they don't say it, but they expect that you will miss them. How will you tell them without hurting them that you're not going to miss them? Let us see your Shilta. Now, this is just one thing about family, but in the business, you have to fire someone. Fire means you have to tell that person that you're not working and you need to leave. It's an art. You have to tell the truth, but you have to tell it in such a way that it is effective. This is called as communication. And communication is through Shilta. This doesn't mean you have to be sugar sweet. That is a hypocrisy. Yeah. So Satya, Shila, Drida, Dvaja, Pataka. Bala Bibek Dama Parahita Ghore. Kshama Kripa Samatara Jujore. Now, every chariot has to have horses. And battle horses, chariots used to have 4 horses. In Bhagavad Gita, you see 5 because symbolically it talks about the 5 senses. So Upanishads are giving it symbolically, right? But a war chariot will have only 4. 5 will be an imbalance. Because again, if one goes on the other side, now you know why committee number that you have on your board is very important. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of our CEO's work. Yeah, that what numbers you must have, because how does it lean? So 4 horses on the chariot. Now, what are these 4 horses? Now, even today, your cars work on what? Manpower? Cow power? Bull power? Horsepower, no? So, as I said, what machine even those days worked with horsepower. So, also chariots used to work with horses. That's why we still call it as horsepower. Now, what are the 4 horses to propel your chariot forward? In the Upanishads, and that we see demonstrated in the Bhagavad Gita, it is our senses that take us forward. If you link both of this with Vibhishana Gita, then if we want to achieve something in our life, how should our senses and mind be? This is what is being pointed out. So who are the horses according to the Upanishad? The sense organs or the senses are the horses. Here, what drives our chariot forward in life, or even our senses forward in life, first is Bala, strength. See, our Upanishad mantras were not against our physical development. Apyayantu mamangani vak pranas chakshu shrotramatho balam indriyani cha sarvani. Is it not? Hanuman Chalisa, Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi. So we must have Bala. Swami Vivekananda used to say, a strong mind in a strong body. Otherwise, mind are strong nowadays. And this is what we find in the world, no? Those who are generally muscles, no brains. Generally. And those who are all brains, Dilton dollies. Nowadays, they've got a different word, but you are, from that generation, so. Physically strong. Now, physically strong doesn't mean that you have to have muscles and you have to pick up a tractor. No? Whatever strength, physical or emotional, you require to do the work in hand or your duties or your profession or the roles that you have taken up, that is called as strength. Health is necessary for it. Yeah. Today also one gentleman I met was saying, it's my life, right? He told his wife. He had not come. His wife was saying, he says, it's my life. I've done all my duties. Now let me do what I want to do. But it's not that your life does not affect others in the family. You have a responsibility. So to keep up our health, to keep up our vital energy, so physical strength to do our job, to do our duties, the physical energy. Now a doctor's energy is very different from what, a lifter, a laborer's energy, physical level is. Doctor doesn't need those kind of muscles, but he needs that steadiness. Yeah? You may have to hold his hand for hours in that position. If he's doing a brain surgery or something like that. That strength to perform our duties. And Hanumanji is called as Atulita Bala Dhamma. How did Hanumanji, a Vanar, attain that Atulita Bala? And that answer we find in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, Balam balavatam asmi kamaraga vivarjitam. What weakens our senses, what weakens our body, what weakens our mind are these two forces. Kama, selfish desire. Raga, clinging attachment, dependence on certain things and beings. Where these two are there, even children, when they see these superheroes, Batman, Superman, whatever they are attached to, that is their weakness. Yeah? So those who are free of selfish desire and those who are free from attachment. Their bala, it is not physical, muscular bala. And look at Gurudev. He was even physically such a fit personality. But the amount of work, no sleep, etc., as his heart started failing, yet there was no decline in his enthusiasm, in his work, in his energy. When we work with such inspiration, there will be bala. And in spite of all illnesses, in spite of all disabilities anybody has, in fact, some of the greatest superheroes in life are those who are physically disabled. And that's why today we just say, differently abled, not disabled. So bala, that strength. Yeah? Therefore the prayer is, give the strength to my organs of action, organs of perception, and this body, physical strength and mental stamina. So, bala, the horses must have strength. Now, can you imagine battle horses? And you go to Bombay, you go to the beach. Some of you are from Bombay. Yeah. Or any place you go, they have these tattoos there. And then sometimes this big fellow or this big lady wants to sit on it. It's meant for children to go on that. And can you imagine if somebody sits on that tattoo? The poor thing cannot, and that guy just whips him and he can't move. Yes. So to take the burden of your responsibilities, that strength must be there. And that comes out of inspiration. So Bala. Then the other 3 horses we shall see tomorrow, and what are the reins that hold them. And then last, the weapons that we must have. And last but not the least, after the last also there has to be something. And that is the protective armor. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.